The OnePlus 10R is an affordable version of the OnePlus 10 Pro, and as expected, trade-offs have been made to arrive at its cheaper price tag. For those wondering which of the two devices is the better buy, there's a lot to consider, including their availability. The OnePlus 10R is the third phone in the R series of affordable flagships launched by OnePlus in 2021. It succeeds the OnePlus 9R and OnePlus 9RT. The increasing prices of OnePlus flagship phones over the past few years have resulted in fans switching to other brands for cheaper options or similarly priced devices with better features. To provide more choice, OnePlus developed two new series of smartphones, the Nord line, which comprises entry-level, mid-range, and premium mid-range models, and the OnePlus R series of cheap flagships. The OnePlus 10R and OnePlus 10 Pro are strikingly different. The former sports a flat display and frame, centered punch-hole camera cutout, and plastic back. In contrast, the OnePlus 10 Pro has a curved screen and frame with a punch-hole camera on the left and a glass back. Long-term OnePlus fans will be disappointed that the brand's signature alert slider is missing on the OnePlus 10R. There is also no official IP certification, unlike the T-Mobile version of the OnePlus 10 Pro, which has an IP68 dust and water resistance rating. OnePlus offers the 10R in Sierra Black and Forest Green, while the OnePlus 10 Pro can be purchased in Volcanic Black and Emerald Forest colors. Both phones have 6.7-inch displays. The OnePlus 10R's screen is in Full HD Plus OLED panel with a 120Hz refresh rate, HDR10+, and Gorilla Glass protection. On the other hand, the OnePlus 10 Pro has a QHD Plus AMOLED LTPO panel. It also has a 120Hz refresh rate, but can dynamically adjust this between 1Hz and 120Hz, whereas the 10R can only switch its refresh rate between 60Hz, 90Hz, and 120Hz. OnePlus has equipped the 10R with the Dimensity 8100 Max processor, a more powerful variant of the Dimensity 8100 announced in March 2022. The chipset is paired with 8 or 12 gigs of LPDDR5 RAM, and 128 or 256 gigs of non-expandable UFS 3.1 storage. Powering the OnePlus 10 Pro is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset made by Qualcomm, and it is paired with up to 12 gigs of RAM, and 512 gigs of storage. Like all OnePlus flagships, it doesn't have a slot for SD cards. The OnePlus 10 Duo both pack triple rear cameras, but with different configurations. The camera array on the OnePlus 10R includes a 50-megapixel f1.8 Sony IMX766 main camera with OIS, an 8-megapixel 119-degree ultra-wide camera, and a 2-megapixel macro camera. In contrast, the OnePlus 10 Pro has a 48-megapixel f1.8 Sony IMX789 primary sensor with OIS, a 50-megapixel ultra-wide camera with an impressive 150-degree field of view, and an 8-megapixel telephoto camera with OIS, and up to 3.3x optical zoom. The 10 Pro also gets a Hasselblad Pro mode, and a 32-megapixel front-facing camera, while the 10R misses out on the Hasselblad collaboration, and has a lower-resolution 16-megapixel sensor for selfies. OnePlus offers two versions of the OnePlus 10R, a 5000 mAh model that supports 80-watt fast charging, and a 4500 mAh model that supports 150-watt fast charging. The former ships with an 80-watt charger in the box, while the latter ships with a 150-watt charger. The OnePlus 10 Pro also has two versions. The global variant with a 5000 mAh battery capacity that supports up to 80-watt fast charging, and a US edition that supports 65-watt fast charging. It also has support for 50-watt fast wireless charging and reverse wireless charging. Both phones feature stereo speakers, Dolby Atmos on the OnePlus 10 Pro, in-display fingerprint sensors, and face unlock. In addition to having dual-band Wi-Fi and NFC, the OnePlus 10R has Bluetooth 5.3, while the OnePlus 10 Pro has Bluetooth 5.2. Both phones run Oxygen OS 12 based on Android 12. In 2021, OnePlus announced that its flagships will receive 3 OS upgrades and 4 years of security updates, and this applies to both the OnePlus 10R and 10 Pro. The OnePlus 10R is only available in India for now, with no news yet of a wider release. It is priced at $509 for the 8 and 128 gigs version, and $562 for the 12 and 256 gigs. The 150-watt version also has 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, but retails for $574. That is much cheaper than the OnePlus 10 Pro, which is priced at $899 for 8 and 128 gigs in the United States. Which smartphone do you think is better? Write your opinion in the comments below. I will be pleased to read. Thank you, have a nice day and see you soon.